Hello, soul seers. Welcome to this year tarot readings. So, yeah. So today's reading, I feel like I don't want to pick out any tarot cards or anything like that in general, right? I just want to talk about the things that I've been observing on a daily basis. And this is something about social media. This is something about how exhausting it is and how much fake it feels. Like I have seen myself, like no matter how many times I open my social media, open my um any app, any platform, it all feels fake to me. It all feels unnourishing to me in some manner and some way. All right, and I've been asking myself, like, and it's just the amount of unawareness that these things bring in our lives, right? Also, I went out, I had some cow milk from outside, right? And yeah, it immediately had a very bad effect on my. I, I don't think my stomach felt anything, but definitely I got a lot of bad vibes, or let's just say, it's just, I don't know what the heck is wrong with the freaking milk, but I just did not. I cannot. It's like my body sends me alarms even before I'm in the freaking shop about milk facilities or something else. It's not even meat. It's like I feel like I'm integrating into this lifestyle slowly, slowly, and as I'm integrating into it, I feel like my body just feels absolutely repulsed by the idea of drinking milk, by the idea of eating any animal related products. I don't know why that is. Um, it's it's something that is like happening to me on a very like it's like my body doesn't want, my body is rejecting it way before I even consume something, and it's very irritating. um and there are many things that I want to tell you guys, but I feel like if I say it out loud in here, I'll say some things, all right, about my parents and about the people who my parents are, right? So I was born in a family where my parents, especially what they did in my young age was that they essayed me, right? And these people are still in my life, are continuing to be a part of my life. And sadly enough, because of the amount of mental illnesses that they have given me, I couldn't conquer them. I couldn't get over that bullshit that they did to me. And because of that, I wasted a lot of years, which I could have spent becoming independent, right? And I got swept into the social media and everything else. And now that I'm thinking about it, all those things, right? Social media, everything. It's like my body is rejecting it. My body doesn't want to see it anymore. My body doesn't want to experience this shit anymore. Anytime I put my tarot cards in here, my body is rejecting me to put those tarot cards in here. That is how much spiritually I do feel like, yes, I'm spiritually backed by my spirit team, but I feel like that is something my spirit team is telling me not to do. Not to shuffle a bunch of cards, but to sit and listen, sit and meditate, sit and observe what the heck is going on with you, yourself, and your body, right? And I was just watching this video by this person, and this person got so angry at people, their precise line was, you know, they hear a lot of Plutonians say that their life is now Plutonian. If you don't know Western astrology, I have some major Pluto placements, right? So I kind of like go and check out those pages, right? And there was this guy, he was like getting so irritated with the Plutonians, and he was like, Why do all the Plutonians say that my life is so hard? And then he just retorts back and says that that's because you're not conscious enough. That's because you're still living in unconsciousness. That's because you're not becoming aware enough. And now I have a question, and that just gave me a question. What actually gives people the right to be angry at someone for not being conscious enough? Since when did we start giving that much space to anger, to frustration, to stress, because other people are not conscious enough, other people are not aware enough, right? I was thinking that because I think in my life personally, there are some things that I'm very conscious about. There are some things that I'm not as conscious about. There are some things that I'm very much conscious about. I understand them on a very deep basis because I've been in that place, all right? I've been through those depths. So, and that kind of consciousness that I have is not the same kind of consciousness many other people might have, right? Because I still remember there was this bunch of weird people, right? They started like bowing down and like, praying in front of this um, fake miracle worker or fake god, and none of them questioned this person in front of them just because this person was able to do all the miracles that they wanted them to do, and never questioned their authority, never questioned the authority of this religious figure, whoever this was, right? And I just understood that people are not even the most conscious people, even the most religious, spiritually conscious people, all you have to do is show some witchcraft in front of them or do a spell work in front of them, and if they see you doing that, they'll kind of think that you are a miracle worker. They'll start assuming that you are uh, you know um, the epitome of everything good and nice, right? And I was so confused by that behavior, right? And that's when I realized these people are conscious about spirituality, they are conscious about themselves, they are conscious about the philosophies of life, they're conscious about the philosophies of their religion, but they are very unconscious to the idea of miracles. They are very unconscious to the idea of magic. They are very unconscious to the idea of spirit. They're very unconscious to the idea of spiritual experiences, right? And it's like for these big people, especially yogis, sadhanas, people who do sadhanas and people who are yogis, right? They are always like trying to go behind that light. You'll see many of these people, people who do a lot of drugs in the name of occult. People who do a lot of these things, right? Hallucinogens, so that they can, psychedelics, so that they can reach a state where divine exists. I've seen a lot with these people that they do not understand the difference between the light that they see during hallucinations and the actual reality, and they're trying to run behind the light so badly that even if somebody showed them a fake light, somebody showed them a light, that fake light in the sense, like taking hallucinogen to get a temporary sense of what that light looks like, temporary sense of what your spirit actually is like. Because, see, people who take hallucinogens or psychedelics, what they're trying to find within themselves is their own spirit, right? You have to, it's like you're peering into yourself, you're seeing your own mind, you're seeing the demons in your mind, you're seeing everything that goes inside you. It's like a lot of stuff. It's like all of these demons are here, and those demons exist due to the conditioning, due to the betrayal, due to the trauma, due to all these things that have accumulated in your life, right? And it takes a lot of effort to confront them, to come in peace with yourself, and to accept all of that and move on, and accept your light, accept the shape of your light, accept the it's not just accepting that, it's also accepting that and rebelling that, right? It's like accepting that, okay, there is this demon in me, let me repel it, let me clean it off my body, let me cleanse myself, let me purge myself. And then they purge themselves, and then they form akar, right? When I say akar, I mean they form a shape, they form Their soul forms a particular shape. Their soul forms the essence of their soul. Yeah, they give an essence to their soul. They give a color to their soul, right? Their soul becomes easier to define after you go through such tribulations, or after you go through trials and tribulations, after you confront your inner demons. You come to a state of consciousness due to those trials and tribulations, due to those demons. Because once you understand that these demons, these trials and tribulations are the things that you need to fight against, that you need to challenge, that you need to confront, not just accept their existence, but also confront and purge yourself of it, of that necessity within you to hurt that part of you, of that necessity within you to purge that part of you, so that you can go and reach your higher self, right? Yeah, it's all these things that our demons basically highlight, right? Our insecurities, the things that we are hurt about, right? So it's I feel like, yeah, it's a very soft, uh, it's a very soft place, and our character usually develops by going through these um, demons, by going through our hatred, by going through our sensuality, by going through our pleasures. Actually, there's a book that I just read. Let me bring it in here. There are I'm not able to find that. Wait a second. Yeah. So there are five. So I think this is according to the Patanjali Sutras, Yoga Sutras, I guess. This is from the Yoga Sutras. Um, Ahimsa, Satya, Asetya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, Yamaha. For a calm mind, banish these five fatal flaws. So, yeah, this is the shloka. The shloka says, non-violence, truthfulness, not stealing, being loyal, letting go of unnecessary possessions. These are the yamas. These are the yamas that control us all the time, right? Our um, sorry, these are not the yamas that control us, but these are the but opposite to these are the flaws that we need to restrict ourselves, right? We need to restrict ourselves from doing violence. We need to restrict ourselves from stealing other people's property. We should restrict ourselves from saying lies. We should restrict ourselves from betraying other people. We should restrict ourselves from attaching ourselves to unnecessary possessions, right? I've also, yeah, there is like this very beautiful thing about sensuality given in here, which took my heart away. I don't know where it is. It's not in here, I guess. Yeah, Brahmacharya. So Brahmacharya is so the fourth yama, Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is the restraint of all kinds. It lets us explore. So it's like restraint of our senses or sensual restraint, right? For example, things that we find attractive, delicious food, great clothes, beautiful people, fine smells, exciting music, titillating content, both online and offline. It brings us sensual pleasure. We must enjoy and be grateful for the beautiful things, for they are all a part of spectacular world. But we have the privilege of living in. We must always guard our we must always guard against the danger of overdoing any of it, of getting so attached to the sensual pleasures that we become their slaves and they turn into something we cannot do without, an addiction we cannot break, right? So watching Instagram for 2 hours straight without even realizing how much time has passed, binge watching an entire series on an OTT platform the day it releases, even though we know we should be doing something more important, stuffing our face with junk food while binge watching a series with no awareness of how much we consume, going on dangerous crash rides because we hate the shape of our bodies instead of working towards losing weight in a disciplined way with regular exercise and moderate eating over over months. I feel like, yeah, exercising like crazy, going nothing to 30-minute hit workout, that cannot be good for us for the same reason as above. Watching inappropriate content on loop, listening to unclean versions of the songs of your favorite band or singer, ad nauseum, no, what is ad nauseum, or singer ad nauseum, I don't know. Let and letting explicit lyrics and foul language burrow into your brain until you lose your sense of discrimination and begin to believe that all the anger, negativity, and obscenity the song contain is entirely justified. Staying up late into the night, playing online games endlessly, unable to break away, making a fake ID so that you can sneak into the bar that you illegally are with you that you are legally barred from because of your age, and then quaffing a pint or two as well, all of which can get you into very real trouble with real authorities. So I think this is a lot. This is way too much because this is like for children. This is Yoga Sutras for children, right? I got it from I got it for free from a mall, but that's not what I'm saying. Even with the when I say the idea of and I would love to I would like to say that when I say the idea of foul languages, foul lyrics, and um, it is very different from the idea of. I feel like being naked is sacred, all right. This is not the same as sexualizing the naked. This is not the same as sexualizing the naked. I'm not talking about the sexualization of the naked bodies. That is not what I'm talking about right now. I am talking about justifying the sexualization of something, sexualization of a naked body, justifying um, sexualization of things around us, basically in general. And that also, yeah, not because not because the idea, like I have always considered that, anything that you feel or you find sexy is basically muse worthy, if you find somebody sexy, that person is your muse. I cannot tell you anything else other than that. All right, that is your muse. That's not the same as wanting to do. It's like a very raw desire that comes from within us. It's a primal energy. Sexual energy is a very primal energy, right? It comes from within us, and it I don't know how to say this. It doesn't passes through us, but it's almost like it's a very raw primal energy, right? When you find this kind of raw and primal energy, that energy is it's eroticism. And eroticism, I feel like, yeah, it's the raw primal desire of connecting ourselves to something, of wanting to possess something, all right. That is what eroticism as an idea is. And that's a primal desire that comes within us, and it is coming in there because it to serve as a means of inspiration to actually. Okay, I'm audible. Yeah. So eroticism, I want to like read it from Kim Krant's archetype deck, you know see, Eros can be depicted as unbridled sexuality and eroticism. A more contemplative understanding of this archetypal energy leads us to the root of desire itself. What do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? Eros reconnects us with the primal longing to merge with another human being. Nature, music, art, plants, food, or anything that we perceive we are separate from. Eros, the idea of primal sexual energy, is a thing that we often feel like we are separated from, and we want to merge with that one thing, right? That is our desire. That is what eros represents. That's what sexuality represents. And I have such a hard time with people trying to sexualize everything around there. That is not what you want to merge with. Stop trying to make this idea of one way of doing things as sexy. I also want to talk about how many people are, attracted by the idea of becoming a billionaire or becoming a millionaire, not because they feel becoming a billionaire or becoming a millionaire, because it's like It's because they have, I won't say sexualized the idea, but there is like a sensationalized sensationalization of this idea, right? That we have to become somebody like this. And when I talk about the idea of sensationalization, again, I'm talking about the idea of a very sensual idea, like as if, becoming successful or having $1 billion in your bank account is a very, um, I don't know why I'm getting the word musty in my head right now. Like as if it's a very fun thing to have all those assets in your hands, or it's a very fun thing to have $1 million, $1 billion in your hands, or it's very fun to be able to, have access to hundreds of women, or hundreds of people to sleep with, and get away with anything that you can do. I feel like the entire this is the this is the sensationalization of this idea of success, right? That is how people sensationalize this idea. And I'm not trying to say that, but that is a fact. Like, yes, it's true, but I feel like the sensationalization of that idea has sort of robbed us of the actual desire that we would want. Because there are so many rich people in the world who still have desires, who still aren't satisfied. And I'm not saying that any human being will be satisfied. I feel like that's because many of us have not yet uncovered the root of our desires. We have not yet uncovered what is it that we are so separate from, but want to merge with it at the same time. What is it that we are currently separate from, but are pretty much desiring to merge with? What is it? What is that root desire? Because we have been, we have been buying desires for a very long time. We have been buying other people's dreams. We have been buying the idea and the dreams of other people. We have been sensationalizing these things. But are these things important? Like, I just want to ask you, how many of these desires are actually your root desire? Do you really want to merge with that? Do you really want to merge with that, or is there something else that you want to merge with? You know? Um, yeah. Eros allows us to momentarily unite. And it's a momentarily, yeah, it's a primal feeling. That's what I'm saying. Just how anger is a primal feeling. It doesn't, once you, like, if you get angry, it doesn't means that you, like, when you get angry, your anger is an awareness. It's an awareness that is telling you that something wrong has happened and you need to stand up against it. That is what your anger is. But when you're not able to define, but when you're not able to understand, when you get swept up, when you get swept up in the wave of anger, when you get swept up in the wave of that momentary emotion that you feel for like 2 or 3 seconds, you end up, yeah, I feel like you end up forgetting the actual cause of that anger, or you end up forgetting the reasons why something has triggered you the way it triggered you, right? And I feel like, I don't know, why do we always say that anger has triggers? And why are we always shamed to say that Eros has triggers as well? Our eroticism also has certain triggers. The reason why, like, I feel like mostly the reasons, and because, and I feel like everybody's eroticism has different triggers, right? Everybody has a different idea of wanting to merge with something greater than them. And I feel like, because we do not sit to realize, or because we do not sit back to actually think about the reasons why we are so triggered, uh, for this, to feel this eroticism towards something, to feel our sexuality towards something, what happens is that we end up going into this state of unawareness, or we end up, reacting through our primal emotions, um, in a moment, like through our primal emotions, without understanding the real gist of it, without understanding the actual reasons why we are feeling those emotions, without understanding the root desire. Why are we feeling that desire to merge with that particular thing, particular person, particular nature, particular something, right? And I feel like that is something that, and I feel like people are so, um, yeah, I feel like people are so they're so upfront about shaming other people for feeling eros, for feeling eroticism, because because people are shaming other people for, like, for example, suppose you are constantly shamed for feeling anger. You know what you will do? You will end up suppressing your anger. That's the same, and then one day that anger will explode on somebody. That's the same thing that happens with eroticism. If you keep on suppressing the eroticism, and if you do not try to look into its triggers, if you do not try to look into the things that you need to work on, you end up you end up falling prey to that explosion of those emotions, right? Explosion of that idea or that need to merge with somebody, because the loneliness that lack of eroticism gives us is, or the suppression of eroticism gives us is yeah, it's, I feel like that loneliness is not, yeah, that loneliness comes from the fact that you are not able to, that loneliness comes from a primal feeling. All right, and I will call it primal feeling. I don't care how many people are like sex is a very complex emotion. It's not a complex emotion, it's a fucking primal emotion, just like your anger. You need to sort it out. You need to sit with yourself and think, why does it triggers you? What is the reason that it triggers you? Do you want control over somebody? Is that the reason that it triggers you? Do you want somebody to be weaker than you? Is that the reason why it triggers you? Do you like the fact that somebody is more vulnerable towards you? Is that what triggers your eroticism? What is it that triggers your eroticism? That's the question that you need to face, that you need to ask yourself. All right, like I feel like something, I think this is I feel like many people do not want to explore the idea of eroticism, because a, they feel shamed and suppressed to look into it, and b, it's it's very hard. I feel like it's something that like I feel like I've seen it so many times. People have a hard time confronting their ego, that they want something more than their ego, right? Like suppose you love a particular, like, how do I say this? Suppose you love somebody, right? And I have to say this. I think there was this video. I'll put that video in my description box today. It's a video about how love is an embarrassing thing. And the thing is, love is always meant to be embarrassing, because why would you love something like, because that is how the primal urge of eroticism feels like. It feels like you are you are having a primal urge for something that isn't yourself, that isn't your goals, that isn't your dreams, that isn't the successful life that the productivity ladder tells you to build. And the worst part about this entire embarrassment is that the thing that you want to merge with, it's a primal emotion. It's a temporary emotion. It's not a continuous emotion. Um, it's not what you want on a permanent basis. Or even though if you want for a permanent basis, it's like you have a very hard time, like, how do I say this? It's like people have a very hard time reaching towards their um uh, towards the things that they feel so eroticized about, right? Because it's like, how do I say this? It's like a primal urge, first things first. Secondly, it isn't the same thing that our ego told us to be, right? Our ego told us to be productive. Our ego told us to be ABCD. Our ego told us to be successful A by XYZ. Our ego told us to have XYZ amount of money. Our ego is telling us to fulfill our dreams and our goals and support the family and look like a responsible person on the outside. Eroticism, on the other hand, it's such a primal urge to get into some to um, merge with somebody because we feel so separated from that somebody, right? And that's the thing, like we know that this is what we desire, but the reason why we are so scared, like, of taking a leap towards it is because the reason why we are so hesitant in the face of intimacy is because it is so separate from us. But there is a part of us that wants to merge with whatever that separation is, that wants to cut the that wants to bridge the gap, right? And I feel like people need to understand that this idea of erot, like, I feel like there is a need to understand where does this primal urge arises from? What triggers this primal urge in the basic sense, right? Is it that you are looking for emotional vulnerability? Is that the reason why why your eroticism is triggered? Are you looking for some excitement, fun, play, spontaneity in your life? Is that the reason why your eroticism is triggered after looking at somebody who's way more spontaneous than you are? Do you like, is, are you like, are you looking like, have you been a very obedient person for your entire life? You've never been rebellious even once in your life, and all of a sudden you see a rebellious person in front of you. So, is that rebellious? Are you feeling eroticism towards this rebellious person because that is something that you want to have in your life? And that's the thing, because we built our egos based on whatever is the opposite of our eroticism. All right, whatever is like whatever like because whenever we are attracted towards anything that we want to merge ourselves with, the reason why we are attracted towards that thing is because we haven't understood its nuances as well. We have not understood its nuances in a proper sense, and that's the reason why we want to attract or attach ourselves to somebody like that. Mostly because we have never lived a life like that. We have never experienced what it's like to be somebody like that. And that's the reason why we want to merge ourselves with that person, right? That's the reason. And that confrontation takes a long, long time because people do not want to confront their egos. They do not want to confront the distractions that they have. And I'll talk about ego, consciousness, distractions, unconsciousness. Wait a second, let me drink water. Ah, yeah. So I feel like people do not want to like. It's not even about the. I feel like there's so much attachment that we have with our egos, right? We have so much. We have so much attachment with our egos that we want to be a certain that we think of ourselves as a certain kind of person, right? We think of ourselves as a certain kind of individual. For example, you have been a frigid person for most of your life. All of a sudden you'll find a very spontaneous individual. You'll see them. It's very, I won't say that many people will feel, everybody around them is going to feel that, right? But if you are frigid, like you're subconsciously frigid, you would subconsciously feel attracted to somebody who's having a lot more freedom than you, who's able to let loose whenever they want to, right? And I feel like that understanding, that I feel like, yeah, you need to understand what is it that you have ignored in your subconscious for a very long time. What is it that you have been ignoring in your subconscious for a very long time, that watching this person arouses that sense within you? What is it that um, you have been suppressing, or you had been um, telling yourself, right? Telling yourself for all these years, which is completely opposite of whatever this person represents. And when that happens, that's when you realize, okay, this person is completely different from me, because they are far more loose, they are far more spontaneous, and I'm very frigid. I'm rigid to the environment that I'm in. I'm a very structured person, I'm a very organized person, and this person in front of me is very spontaneous. They have a lot of freedom. That's the reason why I'm attracted towards them. You have to understand where this attraction comes from. Okay, this is the reason why. And there are some people, and this is something for the people who suffer from limerence. They go through anything like twin flame soulmate, or soulmate attraction, twin flame attraction, whatever the fuck you all go through. I have to make this clear. Your limerence, it's just energy. All right, it's just energy. There is nothing else that I can tell you more than that. Like, you feel that person in front of you, they energetically feel like an epitome of freedom. They energetically feel like an epitome of, it's like and sometimes you will realize that this person is energetically totally opposite of your energy. Your energy might be very frigid, very rigid, right? And this person's energy is totally loose, totally free, very spontaneous. And when you energetically feel somebody's energy like that, you might, yeah, there is you yes there is like a high chance for you to actually feel attracted to people like that, more than you feel attracted to other spontaneous people. All right, like that happens. That's like a normal thing. There is nothing like twin flame, soulmate, this shit, that shit going on in here. It's just energy. You're just able to pick up on the energy of the person in front of you, because that's the energy that you want to merge with really badly. And because that person has embodied that energy a lot more than any other person around you that you have seen till now, that's the reason why this person gives off that kind of vibe. They give off that kind of energetic resonance, all right? And you feel that. That's not that's the reason why you feel that attraction, is because first thing is because maybe you're very intuitive, and maybe you can, feel that energy. You're sensitive to energies maybe, and that's why you can feel this person's energy, all right? Energetic attractions are real, I understand that, but that is not equal to twin flame and soulmate relationships. Please get that in your head right now. That is not at all equal to soulmate and twin flame relationships. It's just the fact that you feel energetically attracted to their energy, because you are very sensitive to energies and you understand how energies work. That's not the same as want it's and you do not like it's like this idea of wanting to merge with somebody else's energy and all that shit. That's all because you have subconsciously curbed your own energy. That's the reason why you want to merge with this other person's energy. That's it. That's the only energetic explanation for this. There is no other. I don't care how many people are sitting right there and brainwashing you and putting you in some twin flame cult or soulmate cult or whatever karmic relationship cult. Fuck all of them. I'm gonna be very honest on this. Your eroticism is a primal urge that comes from within you, because that is something that you lack in your own life, and that's what you want. And whatever energy that this other person represents, maybe they are so, and maybe they represent that so much energetically that you can you can almost feel that off of them. That doesn't mean that you are attracted to that doesn't mean that you're not that doesn't mean that this person is going to be your soulmate, your husband, your spouse, or anything in your future life, all right? That just means that you're attracted to them. That's it. That's the only thing. That's because you have less of whatever energy this person is embodying. And you have a desire for merging with whatever energy this person has embodied within them for almost their entire life, right? And that's the reason when you see such a person, you feel that type of primal attraction towards them. There is nothing like soulmate, twin flame, future spouse, or anything to this thing other than the fact that it's just a you thing. It's just a you thing. It's just the fact that you lack that type of energy within you, and that's the reason why you are attracted to somebody with the opposite of that energy. That is all that it means. It doesn't mean that you are in love with this person, or this person is going to be your twin flame, your soulmate, your karmic. There's nothing like that going on in here. It's just for some people there. I feel like for some people, they, especially for people who go through a lot of energetic stuff and and like it's even if you're like, and even for people who go through limerence, I'm honestly telling you, if you're somebody who goes through limerence, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, do not take my advice that seriously. But I really, if you feel any kind of that kind of attraction with someone, right, just go and talk to that person. Just go and talk to that person. You will find out that like whatever you saw in that person in first sight, whatever you felt about that individual, or whatever your mind told you that okay, this person might be very different from whatever like, for example, you are a very frigid person, right? And this person is very spontaneous. You saw them in first sight and you were like, well, I'm in love with that person. Go and talk to them. Go and talk to them and find out if they are as free, as spontaneous, as um, like they lack that much freedom, as that they actually lack, that they actually have the amount of freedom that you deduced when you first saw them, that you assumed when you first saw them, right? Because that's how first sight happens. So understand that your attraction or your primal urge to go towards something is mostly because of your own tendency, or your own need to merge with something that you feel is separate from you, or you feel is not possible by any chance, all right? That's the reason why you feel that kind of attraction towards other people. Don't fool yourself into thinking that this attraction is equal to your future spouse, your future wife, your soulmate, your twin flame, your dumbass shit and whatnot. Because I have I don't know why am I getting so angry about. I'm not getting angry actually, but it's my voice, right? My voice is a little bit. Yeah, it just feels. It feels like it feels really angry because I'm frustrated, but I'm not frustrated actually. I'm just saying that it's like don't. Yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit angry towards the bullshit that is being sold to people out there, um, which is not true, right? If you are feeling any sort of limerence towards anybody, go to your doctor, go to any medicated professional out there, because I feel like once you understand the reason why you feel triggered, the reason why you feel that limerence towards people, the reason why you have that first sight love all the time, when once you realize that that's because the person in front of you triggers something within you, just ask yourself what is it that this person has that you do not have. Ask yourself, because I feel like there is that is the answer that your ego will not want you to see, and that's the answer that your ego and your brain will try to mask, and that's the answer that will actually provide you with most clarity as compared to any other answer out there. Ask yourself, what is it that the person in front of you has that you do not have? What is it that you are assuming about the person in front of you? What is it that you think that you assume that this person has that you do not have? All right. Once you just ask yourself every single time you feel that trigger in your eroticism, or every single time you want to feel when you feel that desire, you will know what is it that that person has that you do not have, and you will understand that okay, this is what I want to have in my life. You will try to work towards the things that you want in your life once you ask yourself that question. But the thing is, our ego is so complex, our ego is so layered, that many a times people do not want to ask that question, or they get very irritated by knowing the answer of that question, because they have told themselves in their entire life that this is somebody that I should not be. This is something that I should not try to be. This is something that I do not want to be. But what about that primal urge that you're feeling in your body? What about that attraction that you're feeling in your body? The reason why you're feeling that attraction is because you want that. You want to be that. You cannot hide that fact. And that's the thing. Instead of blaming other people, become that. Instead of, you know, it's like try to work on yourself to have that type of quality within you, all right, rather than being stuck in this cycle of um, you know um, feeling attracted towards some, like, yeah, rather than looping yourself in a cycle of attractions, and in a cycle of sexual attractions and sensual attractions and whatever attraction you feel. Understand that whatever attraction you're feeling in your mind right now, that is not love, that is attraction. Learn to know the differentiation between attraction, infatuation, and love. Love is something that you build on a long term basis. All right, that is what love is. Eroticism, primal urges, these are the things that you do not want to confront within yourself. The reason why you feel attracted to somebody is because you want to be that somebody. That's it. There is no other explanation than that. The reason why you're attracted to somebody is because you want to be that somebody, and because you have told yourself in your mind that that is exactly what you never want to be. That that egoistic narrative that you have told to your head, right, which forms your identity. Yeah, the more you tell that to yourself, that I do not that is exactly not what I want to be, that is exactly what I hate to be, the more you will realize that you are attracted to the other person, because your ego is resisting it. Your ego is resisting to become that type of person. But the thing is, your body, your primal urges, you in your own reality, your soul wants to be that. That's your desire. So learn to know the difference between your desire and the difference between attraction and love, and how much of your desires are actually influencing your attraction towards other people. If you allow your ego to mask or cover up your idea of desire, you will not be you will get, like, I feel like, yeah, like, for example, you're suppose you're very much attracted to a very mean girl. I'm talking about girls right now because I'm a girl. That's how I see my life, all right? So suppose you're a very quiet person and there is like this very mean girl, very popular person who is very good looking and everything else. And I'm talking about this in the sense, this is not sexual attraction, but I'm saying that even everybody in the class is attracted towards this popular girl, right? Everybody wants to be her. But the thing is, if you do not, if you are somebody who has told yourself that that is not what I want to be, that is not what I need to be, that is not what I ever aspire to be or ever aspire to become, but for some reason she is bringing out that sort of admiration from me, for some reason she feels admirable to me, the reason why you feel that is because there is no for some reason in here. The reason is because you want to be exactly like her, you want to look like her, you want to get the same kind of admiration that everybody else gives her, you want to get the same kind of popularity that everybody else gives her, you want to be seen as um, somebody who's like you want to you want to be seen as somebody who is attractive to other people, um, or you want to look attractive, you want to look beautiful just like her, because you want other people to be interested in you in the same way other people are interested in her, right? That's the reason why you're feeling that. And if you do not understand, if you do not learn how to confront that emotion, if you do not learn how like if you do not learn how to confront that emotion, your ego your ego will continuously tell you that that is exactly not what you want to be. And in the end of the day, because your ego will keep on covering up this entire idea of that you do not want to be anything like her, you will not even realize how your jealousy will turn it, like you will not even realize how your admiration will turn into jealousy, which can turn into hatred. All right, so be very careful of um, how you handle your emotions, because your emotions are building your reality. It's not your ego that is building your reality, it's your emotions that are building your reality. It's not the stories that you tell yourself that build your reality, it's the care and the embrace that you give to your painful experiences, painful emotions. It's the way you sit down to feel those painful emotions, it's the way you sit down to care and embrace yourself for having those emotions, for feeling that pain, for feeling that hurt. It's the way you care about yourself every time you feel that kind of hurt is what is defining your character, is what is making your character. Your character is not built by your ego or the stories that you tell to yourself. Stop going into that victim mindset where you start feeling sorry about yourself, and when you start feeling sorry about yourself, you start building this entire victim narrative or this entire story about yourself that you are this kind of person, you are a that kind of person, and this person is so big, so huge, so this, so that. That is just you creating stories. If this person is so big, so huge, and they are so much like this, and they have done something wrong to you, understand that the reason why this feels so painful to you is because you do not have as much resources as they have, or you are not as attractive, or you're not as um, resourceful, or you're not as rich, or you're not as I don't know what else is there. um, yeah, you're not as popular, or you're not as influential as this person is, all right? And that is a pain. That is a pain, especially when it works against you, right? So sit with that pain, embrace yourself for being who you are, care for yourself for having that pain, all right? For that pain, for because you are wounded. Care for yourself when you go through anything like that, and understand that this like understand that this is what you desire. Like, understand the difference between what you desire, and it's not everybody is going to desire that, but understand that this is what you can do instead of victimizing yourself, instead of feeling sorry about yourself and telling a narrative and saying that okay, you're ABCD, like this, your life was so sad, so traumatizing, so this and that, and now this person came and hurt you, and now things have got even bad. Like, instead of giving yourself that story, care for your wounds, care for yourself, heal your wounds, sit with that wound, no matter how much it hurts, sit with that pain, because that pain is it's surely gonna refine you. That pain is going to bring out a light from within you that nobody else could have ever imagined. Or it's like, it's not even something nobody else could have ever imagined. I feel like it will bring a light from within you that will shape your character in a different kind of way. Learn to care about yourself more than making a story around yourself or making a narrative around yourself when you feel wounded in your life. All right, that's what I'm trying to say. Again, when I'm talking about the idea of feeling triggered by things, understand that the reason why you are hurt, especially when you feel eros, right? And you're feeling, suppose you're feeling the idea, suppose you're feeling eroticized by somebody out there, all right? And you hate this person, but you still feel that this person is sexy, you feel that this person is ABCD. Understand that there is a, your ego will definitely hurt because whatever this person represents, they're completely opposite of whatever you represent, all right? And you feeling that eroticism towards them, understand that that is not because you want to be with this person, that is not because you are just like this human being, that is mostly because you you want to have the same kind of you want to have some type of whatever they have, you want to have whatever they have, all right? You want to have something that they have, that actually, like, whatever is actually attracting you towards them is the very thing that you want in your life. And once you understand that this is what is triggering your eroticism, this is what is triggering your primal urge, sit with yourself and learn to care for yourself. All right, learn to care for yourself, learn to care for this, learn to embrace your desire, learn to embrace your need for wanting this desire. Now this desire is not the same as equal to wanting this individual, but this desire is something that you wish to have in your life. And you can work on this desire through different ways. Either you can go towards this person and feel this desire through them, or you can work on it on your own in different kinds of ways. All right, you don't need this person to show you what it looks like. Understood? That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like and this is especially for people, who go through Stockholm syndrome, especially for people who suffer from Stockholm syndrome. Understand the reason why you feel that kind of love for a person that you do not like, why you feel that kind of love towards somebody like this. Does that person feels like a safe option? If they do, what else are the other, what are the other safe options that you can go for? And I know that, going for other options can feel far more uncomfortable than going towards this one option right here. And but the thing is, if you stop feeling sorry for yourself, and if you stop creating that narrative around yourself that you cannot have whatever this person has, the path towards finding other safe options, the path towards finding other mediums that you are far more that are as attractive as this individual, right? Or that you feel that will make you a person that will actually allow you to experience that kind of, that will allow you to experience whatever you are attracted in that other person. The part two, those options will become far more easier if you stop putting yourself in this victimized position and stop feeling sorry for yourself. Understand this one thing, all right? Sometimes, some people are so attracted towards people who are far more confident than them, right? Like, there are people who are very much confident as compared to them, and all of these people will feel like, I once had this person, right? I was very attracted to them because of their confidence, right? They were so confident, they were so eloquent and everything else, right? And I just realized that the only reason why I like this person so much was because of their confidence. And if they did not have that, I wouldn't like them at all, I wouldn't feel attracted towards them. So instead of feeling sorry for myself that, oh my god, I'm so shy, I cannot be like that or anything else like that, I just told myself that there are other options. I can go for public speaking, I can go for stage speaking, I can go for exposure therapy, I can do all of these things to increase my confidence, rather than, you know because that is what I want, that is my root desire. My root desire is not this individual, my root desire is all these things that I want. And I know that my ego will try to tell me that you are a shy person, you should not do that. You are an ABCD people pleaser, do not do that. People might not like it when you start being more bold. People might not like it when you start being more confident. You will have to confront the fact that people will start hating you more. So why choose that path when there is an easier path to fit into the mold and sit in that mold, right? And I was like, yeah, there are these paths out there, but if I keep on creating a sorry narrative around myself, if I keep on victimizing myself through my ego and keep on telling myself that, well, I'm like this, how can I even become something like that? That's when I that's when I lose the first battle itself. That's the first battle that I lose. The first things first, I need to conquer my ego. I need to conquer that little identity that I had created myself for all these years and come out of that identity and find other options to 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 be my root cause, or to actually achieve my root cause, what to achieve my root desire. My root desire is this. I want to achieve that. So I'll go towards those things. I'll go towards those other options that can actually help me um, embody my root desire, right? Through other options, through other path pathways, right? So I feel like those are some of the things that you need to understand about life. Now, don't let these other options be something like, progress is something that happens on a daily basis. It happens once you're disciplined, and it happens with, when I say discipline, I mean repetition of the routines, right? It happens when you repeat that routines every single day of your life. When you repeat that, when you do not, leave, like it's like the execution of that routine on a daily basis. Just know that that consistency of keeping that routine is way, which is keeping that routine doesn't have to look like an adrenaline rush. It can be stable. It can be um where is that book? Wait a second. I think I just took that page out, right? And now I forgot where that page is again. Is it this? No. Wait. Wait. I'm using a children's book. I'm using a children's book to teach you guys something important. How weird of me. Hey, hey, hey. But I'm trying as much as I can. Cause I am here for the fuck. Where is, Lord, where is the freaking chapter that I'm trying to find out? Um, Five flaws. Where are the five flaws? Five flaws. Okay, yeah, 214. Yeah. So I was talking about this, right? Brahmacharya. I was talking about the action of Brahmacharya. Yeah, see? Going on dangerous crash diets because we hate the shape of our bodies instead of working towards. See, that's the thing. Don't allow your emotions to control you. Even if you're going on a path to change, don't allow the extremities of those emotions. Like, see, once your ego realizes that there is something more that you want than the identity that you have created for yourself for all these years in your life, your ego will give you two chances. One is the extreme, like it will give you two extreme options. One extreme option is that you continue to stuff your face with junk food while binge watching a series with no awareness of how much you have consumed. Second option, you go on a dangerous crash diet because you hate the shape of your body instead of working towards losing weight in a disciplined manner with regular exercise and moderate eating over months. Exercising like crazy, going from nothing to a 300 minute to a 30-minute hit workout that cannot be good for your health for the same reason as above, right? So it's like you often go into these two extremes of emotions, and that's what I'm saying. Don't allow these extremes to control you. Do not restrain yourself from allowing restrain your ego from allowing you to go through these two extremes, right? Because these two extremes are not where clarity lies. The clarity lies when you take the middle path. The clarity lies in you taking the middle path, because that is the thing that your ego hates the most. That is the thing that your ego doesn't want to accept many a times. All right. So learn to navigate through life after mitigating that trigger that you like, after looking at your triggers for what they are. What is it that triggers you? Look at it and understand how it works, and try not to let try not just try not to let these emotions get you to, like, don't allow your ego to push you to two different to push you through its extreme emotions, through its extreme triggers. Like, there are some people who will start going for working out just because they're irritated at other people, not because they are disciplined, or not because they love the idea of working out, or not because they've embraced the idea of working out, right? The reason why they are going to work out is because they feel that anger within themselves, they feel that extreme emotion and everything else. And I'm not saying that extreme emotion is not bad. That extreme emotion can be a good motivator, but I'm telling you, learn to take that learn to take a path that doesn't involve any of these two extremes, because we're already living in a world where, the idea of rage bait, the idea of dopamine, both of these emotions are controlling us on a daily basis. Don't allow these two, like, don't allow your ego to trigger you into these two states of mind. One is a dopamine based mind, one is a comfort zone dopamine based mind, and the other is like out of the comfort zone and extremely irritated state of mind. Don't allow your mind or your mental state, don't allow your mental state to lose its calm and go towards these two directions. Your first most priority should be your mental health, should be your calm mind, should be the calmness of your mind, should be the peace in your mind, rather than the irritation that you feel from other people, rather than the triggers that you feel, or the irritation that you feel due to other people's actions. Those will cause extreme mental issues later on in future. I'm promising you on that. That's why don't allow your ego to trigger you into those two extreme states of mind. It can cause you a lot of issues later on in future. It might not cause you the same kind of physical health issues, but it can cause other types of mental health issues, which can in turn cause some heart health diseases or anything else like that. All right, so be very careful, be very careful, because understand that anything that you're committing yourself to, be careful and be very decisive and be very intentional and be very conscious of the actions that you're taking. And now I'm coming to the point that this guy that I was talking about said about, how he thinks that Plutonians are always going through something, or they're always complaining about going through something, and then this guy just burst out and then he says that's because most of these people are not conscious enough, most of these people are unconscious. So what is the difference between conscious and unconscious? This is now this there now we are getting to it, right? Conscious is when you are taking an intentional decision with a calm mind, with a calm mind, not with a, triggered mind, irritated mind, this kind of mind. Because I feel like nowadays in the in the days of productivity, it's like we are forgetting the importance of calm mind, and people do not want us to have that, right? Many people, like I've seen so many, like either you be a dopamine based mind where where your mind is numb to it, like it's like people want you to work with that, like especially with corporations, right? They want you to be that numb machine that keeps on working for them 24/7, right? That's what they want you to be, right? And that's what I'm telling you. Don't let that, yeah, like it's not, I'm not saying corporation, but I'm saying that this is how the system in corporations are, right? Like this is how the systems that are in place in a corporation looks like, right? They look like this sort of numbing systems, right? That people are tired and exhausted in their workplace, and then when they come back home, they have resources to only they have resources to feel good about themselves, or they have only those resources left that can help them to breathe after they have been barely breathing in their 9 to 5, right? After you barely breathe in your 9 to 5, all you go back home to is, and then you go back home, you don't feel energetic to do anything, you're exhausted, you're tired, all you want to do is breathe, right? So that's the thing that I'm trying to say. Wait a second, let me drink. My god, I'm shouting so much, but damn, when I feel passionate about something, I just start going blah, 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 blah. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, I was saying that, consciousness is when you take, and I'm not somebody who is very good at consciousness, all right, especially with the way I think. You can feel that with the way I'm talking right now, because I'm like very fast, I'm very loud. I don't think I'm intending to be this loud. I do not intend to be this loud, but yeah. So what is the difference between consciousness and unconsciousness, right? Consciousness is when you are decisive of the decision that you're taking, when you are in a proper mental state, when your emotional state is at the right place, when your physical state is at the right place, right? And when you take a decision in this period of your time, that is called taking a calm decision. That is called taking a decision with a calm mind. That is called taking a decision or taking a resolve in a calm mind, rather than taking resolves in in a frenzy state or in an irritated state. You're taking it when once you take a decision or once you take a resolve in with that calm mind, you are able to see, or you're able to map out, or you're able to strategize what you're going to do next, right? That is how calm mind works. That's how the calmness of mind works, right? Now, what is unconscious mind? Unconscious mind is basically a distracted mind, too much exhausted due to work, too much dopamine based due to the Instagrams, and too much dopamine, too much rage baited, too much irritated, too much agitated. Ego is hurt, so they are even more angry. Do not want to like look into the desire, because the more they look into the desire, the more they understand that the reason why they are becoming is because of this person, blaming other people, right? That is an unconscious state of mind. Don't allow yourself to be controlled, because unconscious mind can also give you a result, but I feel like it will give you a very short term based result, not a long term based result, because in the long term again you'll become unhappy again, right? Or it's not like unhappy again. I think we are always the cycle of happiness and unhappiness is like, it's like a wave form, right? Sometimes life is happy, sometimes life is sad, right? I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying in here is that even unconscious minds can take you very far. It can take you very far in your future. Your agitation or your irritation because of the fact that you had to change yourself, or because of somebody else, or because of the fact that this person was your root desire, and this person or disrespected you, hated you, annoyed you, bullied you, and now what you have done is that you do not want to realize the fact that actually you became whatever the heck that this person. For example, I've seen this a lot, right? There will be people who will get shamed by their partners for being too fat, being too chubby, and then these partners will cheat on on these on these people, on these chubby people, right? And now what will happen is that I'll see that these chubby people will go to workouts and they'll start working out every single day of their life, and there will always be a little resentment in their heart that they won't be able to resolve within themselves. It's like they became exactly what this person once told them to become, right? And I feel like that hatred in their heart, because it's not what they exactly wanted to become. What they actually wanted to do was basically, it's just the fact that whatever hurt was given to them by this individual hurt them so much, right? And they did not want this. Like I feel like nobody wants to have that type of attachment to a person from their past, right? Just because, like, if you go to gym just because you want to get back at this one person, right? You will forever feel like your entire journey, your workout journey, your entire gym journey, your entire journey of becoming healthy again was because of this person, not because you wanted to become healthy for your own self, right? And it will become very hard to detach yourself from this person and the idea of this person um, hurting you and bullying you. And also, it's sort of like gives a sort of a little bit of a, how do I say this? I do not like to, also I absolutely like, I still remember there were some people who were shaming me for, being too chubby and everything else, right? And I never, the thing is, I still think about it till this day. No, I don't think about it anymore, but in the start of it all I was thinking about it a lot. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think, yeah, I did a great job detaching myself from these people, because I don't want my healthy journey to have anything to do with them. I don't want my life and my health journey, or my journey of becoming fit again, to have anything to do with these people. These people, the irritation or the agitation that I have towards them, it's something that I have towards their bad behavior, not because and I don't want them to even turn into, I don't want to give them even the slightest of, you know, it's not even like wanting to give them the slightest happiness of, being the person who changed me. I'm pretty sure they don't even give a damn about me after they said that, right? But I had to like release the idea of these people saying anything to me. I had to release the idea of whether me working out was for myself or was for them, right? And once I detached from that idea, I was able to go back to my exercise routines as normal. I was able to go back to my, um, sitting exercises, my yoga, everything else. I was able to go back to that again because it was a release, right? You were able, because it was like I was able to release that. I was able to release these people away, and I was able to like look at myself, look into myself, and understand that I want this because this is what I'm desiring. I desire this. That's the reason why I'm doing this health journey. I'm not doing this because I like them, I'm not doing this because somebody out there just came and hurt me. It's sort of like understanding how to walk like an elephant, no matter how many dogs are barking at you, right? It's the idea of detaching to that idea and being focused more towards your purpose, um, towards what you're supposed to be aligned in with, right? And becoming strong enough, mentally strong enough to not allow this dog bark scare you again, right? So that is like the idea that I wanted to give, that I wanted you guys to get, because I feel like there is so much about conscious mind, unconscious mind in here. And I'm not saying I'm an epitome of conscious and unconscious mind, right? Even I'm learning myself. And there were a lot of things that I myself was spiraling into, right? And even I needed this video for myself as well. But and I think this is like something that I wanted to, um, put it out there, because I feel like there are so many people who do not realize or understand um, the importance of a conscious mind and an unconscious mind, the importance of actions and decisions taken as a conscious person, and the importance of actions and decisions taken as an unconscious person. Once you realize the difference between these two things, I feel like the change is immaculate. The change is so different from the kind of change that we usually see when we are triggered to change, right? It's very different from the change that you do when you're triggered to change. It's 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 an internal change. It comes from within, and the change that comes from within has doesn't reverts back to its normal state again, because you have converted, because you have worked with your inner self, and then you are starting to work with your outer self. And I feel like this is something very important, and something I feel like people need to realize now. Working in the internal state and then working with the outer state, this is not a thing that everybody needs to go through that step, right? But some people, especially people like me who are very traditional and on that, we have always, not people like me, yeah, I'm talking about like, yeah, I feel like that's, and I'm not saying that your outer self, suppose you're already going, like, how do I say this? It's not about outer or inner self. Yeah, it's not like the change starts from within. Sometimes, I've seen so many people being like, they'll start going to gym because they're irritated because of their ex, right? They do not like their ex. They do not like the fact that their ex cheated on them. And then they start going for working out in gyms and everything else. And then they come back from the gym. You know why? Because they did not enjoy the spirit of working out. They did not enjoy the spirit of exercising, and they just did it because they were irritated from this individual right here. And it's it's very demo, like, how do I say this? It's very, in the long term, people start regretting not going to gym sooner, or they start regretting not working out any sooner, or they start regretting not exercising as much, because um, these things are important, right? These things are what makes us who we are. And I've seen many people, some people, they find that calm while they are exercising, right? They will find that, and that calm doesn't needs to, like, sometimes they'll find that peace while exercising, or sometimes they'll find that enjoyment while exercising and all that, and they'll realize that okay, they like the activity. That's the reason why they're doing it. Sometimes some people, unfortunately, they are not able to find that enjoyment in the idea of exercising, right? And they end up feeling demotivated, and then they go back home. And I feel like that's the reason why you are not, because you're not making a conscious decision. You are making a decision based on an attachment. Let go of that attachment and see things for what they are. Your health journey, see things for on a long term perspective. Is that what you want to do? Make a like be like, yeah, have a calm mind when you're making that decision about the things that you're making decisions about, right? Don't do this in a irritated or an agitated state of mind. That won't that won't get you anywhere. That won't make you see the truth or the reality behind the actions, and that won't help you see the depth or the meaning to the actions that you're doing. Because see, you are in a human body. Everything your human body is not like, you cannot just keep on. Your human body is gonna develop habits based on routines, based on repeated actions. That's what your human body is gonna that's how your human body develops a routine, right? Your human body doesn't develops a routine based on somebody coming to you and giving you this ABCD information, and then, oh my god, like, somebody gave me this ABCD information and all of a sudden I'm enlightened. That's not how human body works. Your body needs to go through a routine on a daily basis. Your body needs to go on a practice on a daily basis, because your body works in a ritual. All right, that's body works in a ritual, in the sense your body needs that kind of ritual to understand the things in your life. All right, and understand how life is working for you, or to make sense of what is going on around you. All right, and I think I was about to say something about routines and stuff. Yeah, and if you really want to, like, bring some, um I don't know, it's not the word ritual, but if you really want to bring some meaning to that routine that you're doing, to that ritual you're doing, learn to let go or learn to detach from the irritation, the agitation, or whatever's negativity, um, that is that is not letting your mind be that is um, interfering with the calmness of your mind, that is interfering with the um, peace of your mind, right? Let this, like, yeah, let this be about your own peace. Let your journey be about your own peace, rather than something negative that you caught on the way, or something overtly positive that you caught on the way. It's not about your motivation, it's not about other people demotivating you, it's about your own journey, and learning to walk through that gray area, right? Without allowing your ego to trigger you into overtly happy or overtly sad states. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I feel like, yeah, that's all I wanted to say, because I feel like that's all you see in a conscious path, right? Like, you see the idea of moving into that gray, or moving through the gray of life, rather than the black and whites of life, right? So I just wanted you to get an idea on that. Yeah, I don't know why I wanted to say, so that I can fill you up on. Um, I don't think I wanted to fill you up on something, but yeah, so that, like, I can put you on the game, right? But what is, like, it's not put you on the game. It's sort of like, I just wanted to, like, tell you that. I just wanted to talk about that, because I feel like there's just so much anger out there, even by some of the most aware, conscious people out there. They get angry at the unconscious people, because those unconscious people are not as conscious as them. I really want you to understand what is the difference between conscious and unconscious. Unconscious people, everybody is conscious in one way or the other, right? And their idea of consciousness doesn't looks like going through an astrology book. Their idea of consciousness doesn't looks like going through a tarot reading book. Their idea of consciousness doesn't looks like going through a um, religious book. Their idea of consciousness doesn't looks like going through a scientific report. Their idea of consciousness doesn't looks like living life by um, doesn't yeah, their idea of consciousness doesn't looks like hard facts. Sometimes their idea of consciousness can look like emotions, about the way they feel things about life. And I really want you to understand that that's like conscious people do not have to speak in the same language as you to for them to be called conscious, all right? And I find it so hard for some people to even like not believe. I feel like it's just so hard for some people to like not get angry at other people for being unconscious. Like it's not that the other person is unconscious, it's that their consciousness doesn't comes from the same way as us. I have seen so many people who will start having like trust me, people who go to the gym, like I like you do not understand, or you don't see the results of your hard work. You don't see the results of your hard work, or you don't see the results or the rewards of your hard work in a place more appropriate than the gym. Like, trust me, you go to the gym, you go to any workout center, you do exercises every single day of your life. It's the most rewarding way of looking at the rewards of your hard work, looking at the rewards of your hard work. Like it's the most rewarding way to see the reward, to see the um to see the fruits of your hard work, right? And many people are, I feel like, yeah, many people do not, they might not know they might have not read a fucking spiritual book in their life, all right? But or they might have not read a gosh darn philosophical book out there. But I feel like those people are very conscious about the way they want to look at their life or see their life, because they have learned a lot from exercising and working out. Some people out there are like, psychologists, therapists, and all these people have like seen other people's minds, um, through like they have seen human minds, they have seen how the human mind works, they have seen how twisted human minds can be. They have understood the way a brain tricks us into, listening to our ego, then listening to what we actually, then doing the things that we want to do. Some people have learned a lot about, they're sat with the monkey brain and they have learned about that monkey brain, right? And I want you to understand that these people are also as conscious as many other people out there, right? Even people who have, studied astrology and all that stuff. I don't think any person, if you have like especially for people who have learned astrology, right? It's got nothing to, I don't know why do people always try to make it all about planets. It's got nothing to do with the planets. It's got everything to do with learning about patterns and seeing the and symbolicism. And it's got a lot of teachings from these symbolic ideas, right? That is what astrology and all of these things are. I don't know why do people try to like um, reduce it down to making predictions or anything else like that. Even when I do tarot readings, it's about the symbologies. It's about learning from the symbologies. It's about what I energetically feel with those symbologies, right? It's not the same as it's not the same kind of consciousness as other as the people in the scientific background. But that doesn't make you less, that doesn't make the other person more unconscious than the other, right? It's like, and I feel like these I feel like these two lanes are unconscious in their own ways, because I and and these two lanes are unconscious in their own ways and conscious in their own ways, right? And I feel like once you understand that, I feel like it will become far more easier to not get angry at people for not being conscious enough, because everybody around you is conscious. It's just that most of us are some of us are distracted with like most of us are conscious, everybody around you is conscious. The thing is, some of us are distracted because we some of us are distracted with dopamine devices, some of us are distracted with our own anger, some of us are distracted with the attachment that we have to other people. And once you get away from that, once you detach yourself from all those things, you can see life in a conscious manner. And if you are somebody who's able to make conscious decisions despite having all these beliefs that you have, yeah, I don't think there is yeah, I don't think there is anything unconscious about you, or there is anything to be angry. There is anything that somebody who is so conscious in this area of life should be angry at you for. Because consciousness is very different from our belief system. Whatever you believe in has nothing to do with your consciousness or nothing to do with your conscious decisions, right? So learn to understand the difference between your belief system and your conscious systems. You taking a decision with your conscious mind is completely different from you having different belief systems. Stop getting angry at people for having different belief systems when it is just consciousness, when it is just them taking conscious, when it is just them taking decisions based on their belief system. People, if stop getting angry at people for taking decisions based on their belief system when and calling them unconscious for taking a decision based on that. All right, like everybody's conscious, everybody's taking conscious decisions. That's the reason why we have free will, right? That's the reason why we have free will. It's wild, I know, but you can always like, yeah, free will. You can always do that. But that's what I'm saying, that right, like understand how this works. Our free will allows us to like take whatever decision that we want to take. That is our conscious decision, and we are using our free will to take our conscious decisions. Stop calling other people unconscious based on your belief systems. It's not, your belief systems are not higher than other people's belief systems, all right? It's it's not gonna make you superior as compared to other people in some manner, other than your ego telling you that, other than your ego attaching you to this narrative, or other than your ego attaching, um, attaching you towards this narrative that these people are, that these people that the so-called people that you call unconscious are having an influence and you as an, or they have something that you do not have, or like it's sort of like I've seen so many people being angry about the fact that this person right here has this kind of belief system and people are believing in them. Yeah, but those people are taking their conscious decisions to believe in them, or some of them are like, stop calling them unconscious for taking that decision to, for taking that conscious decision that they took. Stop calling them unconscious. Stop telling that these people are taking unconscious decisions to believe in these people or believe in these belief systems. They took a conscious decision to believe in these belief systems. Stop trying to blame them. Stop trying to frame them. Right? I have, like, yeah. Stop attaching yourself to an idea of a bunch of people consciously deciding to believe in a belief system. Your Detach yourself from those people, detach yourself from the influence that belief system has as compared to the belief system that you believe in. All right, detach yourself from that. You won't feel that irritation anymore, you won't feel that rage anymore, you won't feel that need to get angry at the other person or the need to change that other person. The reason why you're feeling that need to change that other person is maybe because you believe in science and this person believes in astrology, and there are people who are consciously going to believe in the words that this astrologer is saying, that rather than believe, consciously choosing to believe in the words that this scientist or this mathematician is saying, right? Detach yourself from that idea, detach yourself from these people, because your conscious decisions has nothing to do with their conscious decisions. Stop calling these people unconscious because you live in a belief system of, because of your own belief systems, right? Stop calling those other people unconscious. They did not take any unconscious decision, they took a conscious decision to believe in the belief system that they are believing in. That is not the same as, and that is the same as the amount of people that took the conscious decision to believe in your words, even if you're a scientist or a mathematician. Stop trying to call the other party as unconscious. They are not unconscious, they are all conscious. Maybe some of them are distracted, maybe some of them are, um, you know dopamine, some of them are going to these astrologers for dopamine, some of them are going coming to, even there are some people who are coming to learn science and learn mathematics just so that they can get more accolades and accomplishments in life. I've seen so many people produce fake scientific papers out there, all right? just so that they can find some accomplishments, or just so that they can get um, they can be called, just so that they can get some fame in the scientific community and everything else like that. So know that people are making conscious decision everywhere. They're not unconscious. You become unconscious when you are attaching yourself to a belief system, or you're attaching yourself to a certain belief system based on any type of dopamine, based on any type of overtly happy or overtly sad ideologies, neutral ideologies, like overtly sad ideologies. Neutral people who are consciously choosing these things are not overtly sad or overtly happy. They are neutral. They are in that neutral space of mind, and they are choosing to believe in these belief systems with neutrality. Learn to see things like that. Like learn to be learn to be more aware, and detach yourself from the conscious decisions that other people are making out there. It's very important, especially when you are in your own personal growth and trying to live your life, and trying to lead uh, towards a future that you are building for yourself. Exactly, like whatever it is that you want to do, it's learn to build your conscious decisions based on, like, yeah, learn to be aware about how things are affecting you. Be aware of how other people's be aware of how these things are triggering you. These things are not triggering you because of any reason. The reason why this is triggering you so much is because you cannot accept their existence. Is because you cannot let go of that attachment that these people have with these things. You cannot let go of the attachment that you have with these people who are believing in other belief systems. That's the only reason why you're so triggered. Learn to target that. Learn to look into that. Learn to see why you're so obsessed with this person who believes in all these who believes in this other belief system. Learn to understand why you're so obsessed with these people who are going towards this other belief system. What is it that you want from these people? Why do you want these people to be a part of your belief system? If they are making a and like maybe and if these people are in that if you feel like these people are in an unconscious path, you can take and you can take and you can awaken them. You can sit right there to awaken them, right? Without triggering them, without trying. It's not even without triggering them. You will end up triggering them, but it's almost like, if you really want them to be on your side, or if you feel like, if you're feeling attached to them, understand why you're being so why do you feel so attached to these people, right? Why do you want these people to believe in the belief system that you believe in? What is wrong with them? What is wrong with them wanting to make a conscious decision to believe in the belief system that they are believing in? Whether it turns out to be wrong, whether it turns out to be right, can we find can like it's not even about turning out to be wrong or right. It's like, are we ready to, like, because as a society we will, like, if there is anything wrong that these people are doing, the society will get justice for it. If there is any crime that these people are doing, the society will have to, like, pay them back, or they will have to they will get their karma for doing whatever they are doing, right? But I feel like you have but what is the need? Like, it's just like, are you sure that you being triggered by other people, or you being so attached to the fact that this other person is in this kind of belief system, why does that trigger you? Why are you so obsessed with these people who are believing in other belief system? What is it about them that makes you obsess over them, to the point that you get angry over them, to the point that you get triggered by them, and lose your temper in some manner, or lose it, like, and start feeling irritated by them, or cannot keep your calm around them anymore, right? What is the reason why that is? Because you cannot oppose somebody without thinking about it in a calm manner, right? Without being in this, without understanding things in a calm composition, or without understanding things in a calm manner. So, does it's just a thing that, does opposing this individual gives you that, not opposing this individual, it's just that, does opposing this individual triggers you, or does opposing this individual um, calms you, or yeah, are you doing it out of a trigger, or are you doing it with a calm mind? That's a question that I feel like you need to ask yourself, to see if you are the one who is taking conscious decision, or you are taking a decision, or you're taking a decision out of your unconscious, um, or are you taking an unconscious decision based on the trigger that you feel by these people trying to attach themselves to this belief system, right? That's something that you need to ask yourself. I feel like that is it for the reading today, guys. That's it. That's what I wanted to rant out today. I think I gave a whole damn speech for an hour or so. Oh yeah, it is an hour and 35 minutes. That's a long, long thing to say. But you know what? Have a great day, soul seers. Bye bye.